how do you turn this static flyer into this motion flyer? If you wanna know, stick around. I'll show you how. So open your laptops. So once you open your Photoshop, you go and design your flyer or posters as usual. So I'm just gonna run through because this is basic Photoshop stuff. So I started with my photos that are prepared as PNG. Yeah, the front one, the right one, and the left one. And you can see these photos are on separate layers, separate movable layers. Yes, so they are independent of each other. I wanted to add, of course, a background first. A white one won't work because the photos were taken from a black background, so it's very hard to switch from black to white or white to black. So I chose a darker color. I went with this and I was like, I don't like this because it doesn't blend with my photo, because you can see there's some warmth on my photo. So I went with a warmer color, a deep dark warmer color, which is burgundy. And I added a texture there at the back to make it, a bit dynamic, not just flat. You are supposed to use only 2 fonts, not more than 2 fonts in a design. If you use more than 2, umechanganyikiwa kabisa. It matches, you can see it matches my hand down there, right? The IBC logo. And you can see the gradient is from the color that I chose to black. So that kind of makes the poster nice. So you have to save this file as PSD. So you go and save as PSD. Make sure you choose the PSD option so that when you import the PSD file to After Effects, these layers will be recognized separately by After Effects, so they can be movable. They'll be independent of each other. That's what I'm saying. So once you save that, so I go and open my After Effects. Once you open your After Effects, this is what you see. So go to File, Import, and locate your design, your flyer design. So here it is, import. Then it's a composition. Just merge the layers, style into footage. Then okay. Then open it. You can see you have the layers the same way you had them on Photoshop separately. So the first thing you do is make them 3D, or rather make the space 3D, because now we are still flat like we were on Photoshop. So what you do is highlight all of them. Then you see this symbol here. This is a 3D symbol layer. So you have to click on one of it, and now we are in a 3D space. When you come here, you have one screen. You want to have 2 screens so that you can be able to see what you're doing, because you'll be able to move those files in a space, because now we had our XY axis on Photoshop. Now the moment we made a 3D, now we have the XY plus a Z. So we have the length and the width, and now the space in between, you see, between the camera and us. So you can see there's that space, and that is the Z space. There's XY and now Z. For those people who loved mathematics, you know what I'm talking about. So this is what you do. You make them 2 views. So you have that. Now you can be able to move these files back, forth, and all that. We can turn one photo of me to look up, because now we are having a top view. We are having a top view. So I'm gonna turn this first image to look up. Let me show you. So you're gonna concentrate on this view. So it's the front, J front. I'm gonna go there, transform. So once I rotate a bit so that you can see, let me rotate a bit. So I can move that back position. You can see now I can move it away. And if I move it away from at the back, it goes back so that it disappears at the back. If I bring it in front, it can come in front. Let me show you. I can bring it more front, yeah. Yeah, I think you're getting the point. So you can do this. You can, I think this is a nice view because now you're seeing it at an angle, so you can see the x-axis, y-axis, and the z-axis. Right? So to pass, so I'm gonna move this J front and back. So I'm gonna move it front so that you see what happens. So I'm moving it back, so you can see it's moving back there, back in that Z space, right? And if I can bring it in front as well. I can bring it in front. I have to speed it up. These pixels, oh my goodness. So I can move it back. So once it comes to the negative sides, now it's coming in front. You see what's happened. So the idea of After Effects is basically understanding the 3D space, and now you can arrange those elements, those layers, however you want. So you can put the first image there, the second one there, the other one there, maybe the words on top, back, on front, and all that. So now when you have a camera, because now we'll create a camera, and now move the camera to where you want. Now imagine having a camera on your hand, and now arranging people here, there, and there, and there. Now you have to move to the face. Maybe you want to show the face. Move to the other guy as well. So you'll be able to move the camera as well, because now we'll create a camera as a layer, and now when you're animating it, we are moving now the camera from this position to this position to this position and all that. And I'm going to show you that. So what I'm just going to do is turn off the words. I mean, the words. So I'm going to be left with just the photos and the backdrop and the background. So this is what you do. You move the background further away, some pixels, maybe 2000 pixels away. So we're going to the background, which is the background. It was this one. Which one? Yeah, it was this one. I should rename it red background. Burgundy background, BG. So that we know what we're dealing with. I don't know. All right. So click on that triangle, drop down, then go to transform. So to the Z axis, this is the Z. If you turn off this 3D there, you see the Z disappears. Once you turn it on, the Z rotation. So once you turn the 3D is when the Z comes out, right? So now we are moving it at the back. The position, so you're positioning the background at the back, and so once you start moving it at the back, you'll notice that it starts getting smaller on the front view, because any subject that moves away from the camera always becomes smaller. So what do we do? How do we counter that? So we're gonna move it like 2000 pixels. So just gotta input numbers there to become easy rather than dragging them all across the field. So once you move it back 2000 pixels, you can see it's sort of small on this whatever, the front view, right? Because this is the front view and this is the angle view. So on the front view, you want it to be seen because that's the video that we'll be having, right? So you expand it, and by expanding it is scaling it up, not expanding it. Basically scaling up and expanding is the same thing, yeah? Kupanua biashara. Yes, so kupanua pochi la biashara. All right, so you want it to drag it somewhere there. So you have the background back there, floating somewhere in space, and now you have the photos in front as well. Now that is there. Then you go to remember we had messed up with the front. I mean, not messed up, we had moved the front a bit. I don't want it to be I want it to be behind. I want it to be negative. So you can leave the photo maybe there, or maybe just a bit back. So you can maybe put it at 500 pixels. Not 500, not negative. No, not anchor points. Here, 500 pixels. So I've just moved it at a bit back. So you scale it up to how you want it to be. Perfect. Then you go to the right guy. Which guy do I go with? The right one. So with the right one, I'll just move him like 1000 pixels at the back. Yeah. So we're gonna move the guy 1000 pixels at the back. So he moves a bit back, so that will make him smaller, so we make him return the size. So he's somewhere at the back but larger, right? Alright, so we go to the one on the right as well. There, not right, left. So we move him, let's say 1400. 1400 is okay. So position 1400, because the first one is 500, the second one is 1000, the third one is 1400, then the backdrop is at 2000. You get the point, right? So we are moving it at 14,000 pixels away. So you can see he's disappearing, but now we are making him larger a bit to fit the design. You switch the view to top so that you can see. So the front guy is there, that's 500 pixels away from where we were. Then the second guy is there, 1000 pixels away. The left guy is 14,000 pixels, and then the background is back there, 2000 pixels away. Once you have them arranged there, you create a camera now. Go to new layer, new, then camera. We just leave the presets as they are there. Okay. So you have created a camera, and this is the camera now. Now you can see you're not able to turn this camera at 3D. You can see there is no way you can turn this camera 3D. So what you do, so once you cannot be able to turn this camera 3D, we will not be able to move this camera from this position to that position as it is. From where we are right now, we cannot be able to move this camera. So what we do is create a null object. A null object is just an object. See the same way for those Christians who believe in God or Muslims who believe in Allah. We believe in God, but you cannot see him. Yeah, so that is what a null object is. A null object is something that you cannot see, but it is there. It exists. To create the null object, we go to layer, new, then null object. So we turn it to 3D to make it 3D as like the other layers. So what you do, you parent this camera to the null object. Take it, drag it to the null object. You can call it just cam control. Don't call it God. Cam control. You have parented the camera to the cam control. So whatever you do to the cam control is what will happen to the camera. I want this camera to move past my name, focus on my face, then go to the right, or maybe go to the left. Maybe go to the right first, focus on that guy, then go to the left. Yes, because front guy is there. So I want the camera to go to, as I'm moving to each element, I want that element to be in focus. So I'll have my camera have a shallow focus point. So we're going to have to go to the camera, then not transform because we're not moving the camera, we're moving the camera control. So you go to the camera options. So you play around with the focus, the depth of field. Yes, I want the camera to have a shallow depth of field. The focus point that I was saying, I was using the wrong word. It's depth of field, not focal point. Yeah. So we are going to turn it on. Then focus distance. Maybe we reduce. So we have already set the camera, and now we are moving the camera control, the null object. Remember, it's what we renamed camera control. So that camera control is the one that we are moving so that the camera moves with us, right? All right, so the starting position is where we are, the blurry part. So what you do, you click on that timer symbol, that clock symbol, to create a keyframe on the timeline, right? So you'll do that. And what else? The X rotation? No, not X. I think it's the Y rotation that you'll mess up with. So you click that position and the Y rotation as well. Scaling, not really. All right. So you move on the timeline, you move like 2 seconds. Move like 2 seconds, and now move the camera front to where you want it to be. There. You align that line with that line so that I am in focus. So it will take 2 seconds to move in and focus on my face. Now skip another 2 seconds. Now move the camera to the right face. Yeah, we are going to the right one. So mess up with the... Sorry, I was lost there for a minute. Yeah. So move down a bit. Not move down. Okay, you move the camera up so that the face goes down a bit. You don't move the... We are not moving... We are just moving the camera control. You just move the camera, not the subject, right? So you move the camera up so that the subject goes down. All right? So you move the camera position up so that the subject goes down. Perfect. I think my face is better there. Moving 4 seconds. I mean to the 4th second mark on the timeline. Then we are moving to the right guy. So we are moving the camera to the right guy. So we move it this way. Maybe there. Then scale it in. Move the camera up so that the subject goes down to fit on the screen properly. Maybe there. Then you can add a bit madoido on the Y rotation. We skew it like just a bit, maybe 3, positive 3. So inputting numbers is a bit easier than dragging, yeah? So long as you know where. So now on the 6th mark, we go to the guy on the left. So we are moving the camera on the left. So dragging it is far. So we'll pass this guy. This front guy is a bit blurry. The reason why you're still seeing this guy is because this camera position is still in front. If the camera head was behind this line, we won't be able to see this guy. But since our arrangement is that way, we'll just see him, but a bit blurry, as you can see. So we are moving. You can just put maybe 200 to be faster. Yes. Don't worry, I knew it. I'd move it already. So because the guy was a bit behind, you see where the guy is. This is the guy here. This guy is here. So we're moving the camera back. So we're moving the camera back as well to there, focused. So move the camera up. Yeah, that's okay. Then more to that side. Remember, we had done this positive 3, skew it, the rotation. Now you can make it negative 3 to balance. So it will be like this. So camera movement like this, like this, like this. Yes, so that now we have that. So first 2 seconds, move to the first face, move to the second face, then the third face. So this movement is linear like this. Now I want, okay, no, let's finish there. So on the 8th mark, because already zoomed out, so now we zoom out. Maybe it will take 3 seconds to move out. Yes. So for that, what we can do is just reset. And now we are back. So it moves back. Ooh. There. Bang. So for there, we are still out of focus. So what do? Go back. So now, remember, we have gone back to our first. Now resetting it. Cam control. So resetting it brings us back to where we began. We began at blurry, but I want the ending to be visible. I don't want it to be blurry. Now I want people to read the details, right? So what you're going to do is maybe reset. We can return. So we can return these individual objects back to the front. We can do that. Or we can deal with this camera to now focus on everything as it is. So whichever is easier for you. For me, I choose resetting the camera back to focusing to all. So what I'll come and do, I'll go to the camera. We were not on transform, we were on camera options. So remember we had these settings here. The focus distance and all that. We had not keyframed them. So what I'm going to do from the last guy, from the focusing on, once we had focused on the last guy, on the, it was the 6th second, we can add this, because we had messed with depth of field, we had messed with focus distance, so add a keyframe there. Then we had the aperture as well. Aperture there as well. Can we do this? No. Okay, maybe. I think so. So once we have that, so meaning from here to here it will act as we have already done. Now we go to the 9th mark where now we are everything, we are seeing everything. Now you can bring this focus distance to focus on everything now. So everything will be in focus. And the aperture, we can also reduce it. Or you can just reduce the aperture to 0, by the way. I think that works actually. Yes, rather than messing up with this, you can just mess with, you can still remove that and that will still work, I guess. No, the focus distance cannot. Yes, I think, will it work? Let me see. I think it will work. Yes, it will work. Yes, that will work. Perfect, perfect. So you see when you're going back now, everything is visible. Instead of now bringing those things back. But you can reset them one by one. It's just hitting reset. But I think with the camera is much easier. Keyframing the camera is much easier. Perfect. Right, so that is done. So now we are going to make that movement, because now that movement is linear. I want that movement to be fast, then it slows when it goes to the face, right? So like that, like that, like that, and now out, right? So like what you do to that, you go to the camera control, back to the camera control, and now highlight all the keyframes. Highlight all the keyframes. Then right click on your mouse. Then go to keyframe assistant. Then easy ease. So once you have that, you click on this graph editor here. Perfect. And now you have something like that. So what do you do from here? You highlight everything here. It's not highlighting? Oh, perfect. So remember, make sure it's always set as edit speed graph. Edit speed graph. So highlight it. Then you see these little points here? You move them like this. Make sure you maintain that green line, because if you do that, it will distort your video completely. So make sure you maintain that yellow dot on that green line. Perfect. So you have that movement. I don't know what this is. There's a keyframe here, but anyway, you see, so it will be fast, then slow, fast, slow, fast, slow, fast, slow. So how is that? Turn off the graph editor. Then maybe you can play and see how that is. This is what we have. Whoop. Oh, there's like a movement here. I don't know what this is. I think I can. Once I zoom it here, maybe I'll be able to see where that thing is. Where is it? Oh, it's here. There. I think, is that the one or this? Maybe I can. Yes, I think that's the one. No. Retain the other one. Remove that. Yes. I think that's where that thingy was coming from. Yes, so I've been able to remove that spike now. That is what we have. So playing that, and this is what you get. There, then back. I didn't want to do with every other word, but I can just bring them back. Have something like that. So this is just basic motion graphic, just for demonstration purposes. I didn't want to go deeper. There is a lot that you can do, and even if you check on your social medias, you'll see people doing wonders. And I know you can do wonders too, maybe even better than the ones that we already see. So if you want your flyer designs, you know where you can get me. Email me or DM me wherever you see these, and let's talk business. Anyways, follow for more.